Avon website, getting active on social media. She's going to tell you a few of her favorite business tools. You're going to hear a little bit about online marketing or recruiting tips. I'm going to walk you through about prospecting on social media, and then we're hopefully going to have time for some Q&A. With us doing that right there, we probably won't have time. If you haven't already, join the Facebook page promoting yourself on social media. Go out and do that. We will accept that, and then you can ask any question from this session that you have, and we will answer that. You may leave and tomorrow have a question, ask it, and we will get that answered for you. So we're going to get started. A little bit about myself, and this is a little out of order, didn't get changed, so I'm going to skip that, and I promise you're going to hear from Emily and why I'm in this session and who I am. But I'm a district sales manager. I am from Arkansas. Woo-hoo, that's right. Go Hogs. I am manage 5301 and 5303. I've been with Avon almost 10 years. I was a representative for 2.5, and then I just celebrated my 7th anniversary as a manager. Yay! What I'm going to share with you at the end of our session today is how I have learned through doing a seminar through Ray and Jessica Higdon how you can go on social media and prospect and average 10 leads a day. How I have been able to get 3+ appointments daily and average 2 promoters weekly. So those of you that are in leadership, how many of you would say, man, I wish I could get 2 promoters weekly? Absolutely. So I'm going to walk you through how to do that. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to introduce Emily. I know she doesn't need any introduction, but I will tell you, when I was in Orlando last week at conference, as many of you did, had the privilege of hearing her speak on stage. And I'll tell you, when I got home and started talking about RepFest, I told all my representatives, you've got to make sure you take her seminar. Because what she shared from stage, and I'm not going to tell her story, was when she had something tragic happen in her life. Had it not been for her online business, her Avon business would have probably crumbled. And that made a huge impact on me as a manager, and I wanted to know more. So I wanted to make sure all my representatives came to her class so they could too grow their online business. So without further ado, I'm going to turn the mic over, or turn the stage over to Emily. And Emily, take it away.
All right. Thank you guys for coming to our seminar. It's very overwhelming to see so many of you. So very grateful for that, and thank you. Many of you have heard my Avon story before, so I want to give you an abbreviated version. And my husband, Rob, has been my biggest supporter throughout this business. And we have a 9 and a 5-year-old, and they're the reasons why I wanted to sell Avon. I didn't want to be working full-time and miss those milestones that my kids were going to go through in their first years. I never dreamed it would grow this big already. So I focused on sales for about the first 5 years. I went to conferences, I saw people earning trips and getting recognized, and I just knew I wanted to do that. So I worked really hard on sales. I had an LABC where I was able to make President's Council. But after getting to that sales level, I still wasn't completely satisfied. And there were a lot of leadership incentives and trips, and everyone was excited about leadership, and I just didn't want to get on board on that. I didn't understand why I'd want to recruit my own competition. Well, I changed my mind because I said, if they want to become Avon representatives, they're going to do it, whether they do it with me or someone else. So I'd rather have them on my team. So I started to focus on building online and doing leadership. And at the same time had 2 LABCs and trying to raise my kids and be a good wife and everything else. And found out I had a brain tumor. So for about 3 years, I was having headaches every single day, and it just made me realize that I wasn't really living the life that I wanted to. I was thinking, what if this was it for me? You know, am I proud of who I've become? Have I helped a lot of people? Am I an inspiration? And I didn't really feel like I was at that time. So I really opened up, decided that I wanted to share with as many people as possible and help as many people as I could, whether they're on my team or just another Avon representative. All right, so let's get to know you guys a little bit. How many of you have your e-store active? All right. How many of you have 1 to 2 online orders per month? All right, good. How about 1 to 2 per week? All right, well, hopefully you'll be in that category after the seminar. I do get, just for reference, I get anywhere probably from like 3 to 10 online orders in a day. Wow. Thank you. I've worked hard at it. So our Avon brochure is a really important piece of our business, and it's good to study it and know it and know your dates and get to know the products. So when I was working in the LABC, I have a manager running it now so that I can focus online and leadership. But when I was working at the LABC, I realized that Avon customers get excited about 3 things mainly, and that's the new books. You know, we'd have like 2 campaigns ahead behind the counter, and someone would always be like, I want to see that. It was like, you know, it's a great secret to see the new Avon book. And then we come up with great new products every 2 weeks as well. And then, of course, we have all the great sales that go on in the book. So I know I am a bargain shopper, and people love their sales. So it's important that you get to know your book. Use Avon.com as a source of reference. If you haven't tried the products and someone's asking you about it, go on Avon.com and see how many stars it gets. You can say, hey, it got 4.3 out of 5 stars. And you can read some of those reviews even if you haven't tried all the products. You can also search for like problem areas. So if I wanted to help a customer with dark eye circles, I can put in dark eye circles in the search bar, and it'll pull up products for me that help with that. So getting to know your book, the website, getting to know all the different tools available to you to provide good customer service. So when I hand out a catalog, I have invested in that and paid money to hand it over to my customers, so I want to make sure I'm making the most out of it. So I'll put a neon label on the front of the catalog. A lot of us put it on the back, but I like it to be on the front so it stands out. And I'll put a current coupon code on there and my website. So I'm sharing the brochure so they can buy from me face to face. I'm giving them a code in case they want to shop online. And then I'll also include a recruiting flyer. And then the 4th thing you can hand out with it is also if you're interested in getting fundraisers. So make sure that you make the most out of that money you invest in your brochures. And how many of you have contact information for all of your customers and have entered them into your web office? Good, that's good. For my first about 3 to 4 years, Rob kept telling me, you need to get your customers' contact information. I'm like, I know, you know, I just kind of brushed him off. But after 3 moves of my LABC, I'm like, oh, man, he was right. I need to be able to reach out to these people to communicate to them and to market to them. So now in our Avon store, we keep the survey cards, and if they fill it out, they go into a drawing where we give away, just like a natural or senses set or Skin So Soft, we give away a bundle every month, and it's a way to collect their contact information so that we can market to them. I have the automated email program turned on, so we enter them into the web office, and that's marketing for me and reminding them that, hey, they need to come back and buy something from me again. So it's really important to know online offers if you want to sell a lot online. There's a lot of Avon representatives out there. And if you have coupon codes, you're going to be giving them a little something extra. So I like to know all the current coupon codes. At any given time, there's usually 5 to 6 that are good. And where I will go to find them is retailmenot.com. There's always good ones on there. Welcome, thank you 20 are both codes that anyone can use one time each. So a lot of times that's what I'll include on their brochure, but they can only use that one time, 20% off, $50 or more. You can also find coupon codes in your email service center and youravon.com. And you can also test them. So if there's no expiration date, you can put something in your shopping cart, try out that code, just to make sure it works before you start sharing it. So I like to include the deal itself, so say free shipping on a $25 order, the code that they need to use, SHIP25 or whatever it is, the expiration date of it, and then my website. When you're posting on social media, you want to make it short and simple and to the point. You don't want to over-explain or have too much content because people will just go right past that. And then I also like to use hashtags. So I'll use 3 to 5 hashtags with all of my social media posts. And we'll talk about hashtags in a little bit. So what I normally do, my routine, if any of you have watched my videos or bought my kit, you know that the one area that has really built my business is my blog. So if there's a coupon code, I will write a blog post about it, and then I'll use social media to share that link out there. So the blog is my main marketing piece, and then I use social media to bring people into that blog. How many of you out there use Campaign Mailer? Wow, see, I'm surprised. Yesterday there weren't as many as I thought either. So I love this service. It is a service started by Avon representatives where they will mail the catalog out for you. And it's been, even though it may be a little pricier than just buying the catalogs myself, it has been a huge time saver. And that's how I've really been able to build up my business fast, is handing off responsibilities to my employees so that I can focus on revenue generating activities. Using services, even if they cost me money, to help save time so I can be more effective with my time. So someone that places an order on my website will get a brochure in the mail from me in 2 months with a coupon code, and they'll get 2 brochures in a row for 2 campaigns in a row. And they have to make another purchase to keep getting the brochure from me. So it's a positive reinforcement. When they order online, they get the brochure in the mail. And I know my customers love getting the brochure. Even a lot of my online customers, they prefer to look through the paper brochure and then make the purchase online. And they're running a contest, so if you guys sign up for that, put my name tag. And you can request a test brochure. So it's really nice. It's packaged in cellophane, and there's like 6 lines that you can customize. I really like that service. So let's talk about marketing your Avon website. Has anyone noticed when you put in the format youravon.com/ and then whatever your username is, it changes to a different website address? Okay, so that means that it's not a static website address. It changes. So when you're sharing your website online anywhere, it's usually better to use that second format so that people can click right through, and you're building links to come into your website, because the more links that are linked to your site, the more popular the search engines rate your website. If you're doing it on paper, I suggest the first way, because we don't want a customer to have to go in and type out that whole second one. There's way too much room for them to make a mistake doing that. And another tip would be to use your same headshot across social media profiles, so that people, when they connect with you, they know it's the same person and they're familiar with you, and it's a warm feeling when they see your face somewhere else. And then make sure you're always listing all of your different social media websites. Whenever you're doing a blog or sending out an email, you want to be connecting with those people on different platforms so you can have your greatest reach. So let's talk about online etiquette. How many of you have been upset by another Avon rep that has tried to steal your work or steal customers from your posts? So I'm not going to talk. I mean, you can do it. You can run your business how you want. That's why we all love Avon. But don't speak negatively about Avon online. It's frustrating when Avon puts something out there, a new product, or something to try and excite customers, and reps, you see them like complaining about something that doesn't have anything to do with the post. So we are representatives of Avon. We need to be building the brand, being positive, and getting more customers for ourselves and for the company. Also, don't put your Avon website address on another rep's post. So it used to make me really mad when people did this. And now I just delete it and move on. It's like people are going to do what they want, and we don't want to waste our time being mad about something when we can be more productive. Be creative and try new sales and recruiting ideas. One of the reasons I think I am so successful is because I've tried just about everything out there. Some things haven't worked so well, and some have. And I take those things that don't work well, pick them out of my routine, and I repeat the ones that produce good results. So make sure when you're trying new tactics that you are measuring how well you're doing and what's working. Don't complain about things out of your control. So there have been some frustrating situations lately, but if they're not affecting your business personally, just go about your business and try to find workarounds. And when you're sharing to a specific product on your e-store or a page on your e-store, you want to share the right way, because if you just copy the URL, the website address, in the toolbar and paste it somewhere else, it's going to go to avon.com. Those links are not specific to our e-stores. So if you want to think of the e-store that it has a shell, we all have different shells, but then once they're in there, it's the same information. So we have to make sure that we're customizing it with our rep ID. So on the product pages, you'll see on the bottom left, there's social media share buttons. And that's how you can share to a specific product on your e-store. And then so the social media center is also a great way. That one is always customized. Make sure when you see a URL that you're putting out there that it has your rep ID in it. And what I like to use a lot is the Twitter share option. It's a shortened URL, but it does open all the way up to your rep ID address. Don't police other Avon reps. Read through the advertising policies and guidelines, but use your own discretion. Let's see here. Don't waste too much time online. I have a video out there that says get off Facebook and sell more Avon online. Because a lot of Avon reps love Facebook, and I do too, but you gotta make sure you're making the most of your time on there and being productive. Find your niche and share your gift. So what do people ask you how to do? What are you really good at in your Avon business? And once you figure that out, then you can start duplicating that within your team. And don't let distractions and interruptions run your day. So I have 2 days where I have a babysitter out of every week. And so I have to be really focused and really productive on those days. So when I want to get a lot done, I definitely use a planner to write down everything I want to accomplish. I'll turn my phone into do not disturb mode, airplane mode, whatever. I don't check email. I withhold from getting on Facebook until I'm done with my work. And you have to be consistent with your marketing too. Online marketing especially takes time to build up. So Janet, on this slide here, are there any helpful places where your reps share their website address?
I think the email signature and the text signature, those are always great places because, using technology, we're always going and sending those out. Also the samples, that's another great place to put your website address.
All right, thank you. One of my favorites is putting a label on the product itself. If we make it simple and easy for people to reorder from us and have that information right in front of them, chances are they're going to call you instead of go to Walgreens or Walmart. So whenever you're listing contact information, always make sure your website is on there. I also had to retrain myself because I focused so much on sales in the beginning that I had to remember, I want to say, to buy or sell Avon. So you're putting that thought in their head that they can sign up with you as well. So let's talk a little bit more about social media. So personalizing your profiles. It's good to know your Avon story, be able to tell it to people. And what you might want to include in there is why you started with Avon, some of the challenges you've gone through, your success, what has made you successful and why should people want to join your team. Get your Avon story down and share that across social media. Also, the Avon resume. This is something that I learned from Lisa Wilbur a long time ago, and I'm really glad I did because I have all of my sales stats and online sales stats and leadership stats. So if I'm having a rough day and feeling like I'm really working hard and not getting anywhere, I'll look back a year or 2 years and say, okay, I am making really good progress. So make sure you keep track of your accomplishments, all those incentives and trips. If you document it, you can start building your Avon resume. Become an expert, like I said, find what you're really good at, and build your brand. Not just Avon through the products and the promotions, but also yourself. Brand yourself and why people should want to join your team. And cross-promote profiles, I mentioned always having the different ways they can connect with you. And then also a call to action. So if we're trying to sell a product, we want to say, to buy Avon now, visit my website. You know, to sign up to sell Avon, go here. So you want to end it with a call for them to take action to connect with you. And that image there, I used pizzap.com, that's on your handout. And you can use that to customize photos, and it's a free application. So Facebook has 3 different types of profiles. I get the question often, should I have a page, should I have a group? And I like to have all of them, and for different reasons. On my personal profile, I'm still connected with friends and family and a lot of Avon representatives. So I mix in there my personal life with Avon. I more tell a story about how Avon fits into my life. And I'm not pushing the opportunity on anyone. I rarely say go to my website. It's more talking about what I'm doing with Avon and how rewarding it has been. And now I have, you know, friends that are coming to me that work full-time jobs, and they're like, man, how come you're so lucky? How come you get to travel all the time? And it's like, you know, we all know it's not luck. You work really hard, and eventually it starts paying off really well. A page, a business page, is going to give you online stats. So that's really helpful to figure out what types of posts are most valuable and which are most engaging, and the ones you want to keep doing. The drawback of a business page is that Facebook keeps changing it more and more, so they want you to pay to get noticed by your audience. And I believe I have like close to 5,000 on my business page fans, and my post will get shown to like 100 people. So you see why you don't want to spend all your time on an area where you're not really reaching a lot of people. So pay attention to that. I do keep it in my marketing routine, but I don't spend a lot of time on it. And then there's the group, which is probably what I use the most. I have that makeup marketing online group, but then I have a private one for my team as well. And it's been really powerful because I have recruited almost all of my team members online, and they're all over the United States. So I had to find different ways to connect with these people and make it more personal and help us try to get to know each other. So in my group, we'll invite them to be a member as soon as they sign up with me. I do recognition in there, I post tips, I post videos. It's a way to connect with them. And then I friend request them as soon as they join the group so that we can get to know each other personally as well. Leslie and I went to Mexico. We both earned that trip a few months ago. It was the first time we'd ever met, but we felt like we already knew each other because of Facebook. Okay, so there's different types of posts. You can do photos and videos and links and status updates. So the links are probably going to get the least reach. I don't think Facebook wants you leaving their application. But those are the ones that we're trying to get sales out of and get people to sign up. So you do want to mix them in there. You want to rotate the types of posts that you have and pay attention to the ones that work the best. You can do photos, videos, and status updates. Try to create original, creative material so that you get a lot of likes, a lot of comments. The more activity on those posts, the more popular they are, the more people Facebook will, or the other social media sites will show them to. So Pinterest is kind of a fun social media site. How many of you guys are on Pinterest?
On it.
All right, good.
On it yet.
So Pinterest is an online bulletin board where you can share images, and people can take those images and share them to their own boards. So you'll see a lot of different, you'll see brides on there, and there's a lot of jewelry. So that's a great place to share your products, because if someone wants it, they're gonna pin it to their board. And that can be really powerful because it can get repinned over and over and reach a ton of people. So Pinterest is a great way for both sales and recruiting. And I don't recommend having your personal Pinterest board and just a board that says Avon and putting everything on there. I like to break it down into categories, because all those boards get indexed by the search engines. So I might have a board that says sign up to sell Avon, and a board that says become an Avon rep, and you're like, why are you doing the same thing? Well, people search in different ways. So you're more likely to get more people coming into your boards if you create boards with different keywords. And the hashtag is just a way to search online. It's like a search engine, but within the website. So you want to use hashtags. They do give you more exposure than when you don't use them. And like I said, I like to use 3 to 5 and make them pretty simple. So don't use a lot of words. Mix it up, but try to make it very specific to your post. I know on Instagram people do like a ton of hashtags, but if you're on Facebook, you might want to keep it smaller and be specific to what you're talking about. So if I want to sell ultra color rich lipstick, I might do hashtag beauty, hashtag makeup, hashtag lipstick. All right, so how many in here analyze their web traffic? I don't think people like to do it, but it's really important. And I'm just a nerd, so I like all the numbers. But it's important because I can see where my website traffic is coming from. I know that my blog brings in a ton of traffic, so that's where I spend a ton of my time. So if my blog's bringing in 80% of my website traffic, I want to spend 80% of my time writing new blogs. Talk to your target audience. So when you're going to write a blog post or do social media, think about the person you're trying to attract. And then look at the different referral sources. And good times to post on social media are in the morning, at lunchtime, dinner time, and then 8 and 9 o'clock at night. I'm not sure if that's my Google Analytics or the back end of my blog, but you can sign up for Google Analytics, and if you go into your e-store and you edit your e-store, there's an option called Advanced Options, and you put in a key that Google Analytics gives you, and it'll start tracking your information. There's also an easy counter out there. I use both, and it's called Stat Counter. So if you go to that website, they walk you through the directions of putting the counter on your e-store. And then be engaging. Don't just always be saying, buy from me, join my team, buy from me, join my team. All right, so I want to talk about a couple of my favorite sales tools. But I also want to show you the power of marketing online and how you can't afford to not be online right now. Okay, so marketing online does take time. It is frustrating in the beginning, but you have to look at it as an investment, because once you build that up, most likely it's just going to keep growing. Because when your customers register with you, they keep coming back to shop with you. So when I had brain surgery and was recovering for like 3 months, sales were still coming in. So if you retire, the online sales could keep going for you as long as you're an active representative. So you have to look at it like leadership, that it might take more time to get those customers, but it'll really pay off in the end. And it's duplicatable. So I have that makeup marketing online kit that I will give to all of my team members for free. So I've found ways that have worked for me for marketing online, and I can share that with my team. And it's a tool to help them learn how to do it. And it's really exciting because I have some really good online sellers, people that are recruiting like crazy, and they may not have used exactly what I do, but that training kind of helped them to get excited and engaged in being online. So for 2016, I'm estimating my online sales to end at about 80,000. So then there's recruiting online, which I love as well. It's really nice because it takes the time away from having to sit down and do that personal appointment. I'm averaging 75 personal appointments a month, and I don't think I could ever do 75 in-person appointments. So I may have written one blog post, but it may reach and attract me 100 new team members. So if I'm doing a marketing activity for recruiting, it's gonna work over and over for me. You can reach nationwide prospects. The process is simplified, so you don't have to go through that kit, and you can do it through phone calls and YouTube and blogs to train your team. And so I wanted to go back to, so I'm expecting at the end of the year to have 900 personal appointments for the year. And that's not including my team members, so I'm hoping they start getting to that level too. So it's duplicatable, and you attract qualified prospects. I really like the blogging approach because I'm writing about becoming a representative. I share the benefits and why people would want to sign up. And people are already searching for that online. So they're already saying, hey, I want to sign up to sell Avon. And then they find me. So I like the process because I'm not talking someone into signing up. And I do have people that reach out to me on Facebook like, hey, I see how successful you've been online. How do I sign up on your team? So that's my favorite kind of recruiting right there. So these are some of my favorite business tools. Buffer app, I plug all over the place because it's probably one of my favorite tools. And it allows me to automate my social media. So instead of going on to Facebook and posting 5 times and then going to Twitter and posting 5 times and so on. Bless you, Rob. I can schedule it all out for like a week, and then I do that weekly so that when I'm on social media, I can interact with people and network instead of coming up with what I want to post. And then Zoom has been really powerful as well in my leadership business. I do 3 webinars a month, so I do one for new reps, one for my leaders, and then one for my team. And I did just open those up to any representatives that want to join in on those. So if you're in our Facebook group, you get information on how you can sign up. But it's nice, it shows your face, you can do a presentation at the same time, and you can interact with your team members and feel like you're seeing them face to face. And then of course, follow the leaders that are doing what you want to do. So follow those successful people that are doing really well in sales if you want to be a top seller, or the top leaders if you want to do that. And also with my team, I like to engage with the people who are interested as well, not just the ones that are successful. So the people that are participating in the things I'm doing and active on social media, I'll definitely reach out to those people too because they're putting in the effort. So promoting the Avon opportunity on Facebook, I like to use the albums to, kind of tell a story of what I do with my Avon business. And then in the description, I'll give my Avon story and tell them where to go to find out more information about me and Avon. So I'm not really pushing Avon on anyone. I'm trying to attract them to ask me about my business. Pinterest, I went over how you can create different boards, blogging, and then YouTube is a really powerful tool as well. If you can get over, if you're nervous about speaking in front of the camera, just keep doing it. Those things that make you nervous are going to make you grow. So try everything out there and don't be scared if you're shy or trying something new. So use those descriptions, the profiles, and photo collages to attract recruits. Promoting the Avon opportunity. So when I'm writing a blog post, I like to do frequently asked questions. Everyone wants to know how much money they're going to make, how much money it's going to cost them. People want to know about the money end of it. I don't know why. They want to know about the process. So talk about that. Talk about what's next after they sign up. The benefits. So having flexible time, being their own boss, unlimited income, and then the details of how it works and how they actually sign up. And then you want to do the call to action. So I like to put in the beginning of a blog how they sign up, and then at the end of the blog how they sign up. So that if they already know they want to become a rep, they can do it right away, or they can read the details and then sign up.
Right.
So promoting the Avon opportunity. I talked about using different keywords. So when I'm going to write a blog post, I almost never start from scratch. if you're new to blogging, you will have to, but I usually use templates. And the way I'll find what people want to know about is I'll do a search in it on Google. At the bottom it'll say related searches, and it'll tell me what people that are searching for that topic also search about. So I'll include that in my article and use that for ideas for subtopics. And then social media posts, like I said, I do a lot of posting to get them to my blog for more information. I also schedule out, I go in the social media center and use those posts to schedule and buffer. Facebook groups, there's a lot of groups out there, direct sales, working moms, a lot of those let you post the opportunity, so read the rules and join those groups. And don't over post or post too fast or you'll go to Facebook jail. Be informative and honest. With the opportunity, I like to be very upfront with people. You know, I'm not going to tell them it's easy. It's not. You have to put in the hard work, and you have to be consistent, and you have to be intelligent about it. So I'm always very upfront. I don't want to say they're going to make a ton of money, you know, in their first year, and then they're let down. So being open upfront attracts the right people to my team. And then I use multiple forms of communication, both to get a hold of my leads and to communicate with my team. So I will do the same thing like through calls, through emails, through texting, sometimes through Facebook, and usually they'll respond to you in the way they prefer to communicate. And then at the bottom of all my emails, I always say call or text, because some of my new reps would rather just text me than call. All right, so now I am going to hand it over to Janet, and she's going to tell you how she has found a great trick for prospecting on Facebook.
You've been learning a lot already? Great. Well, I'm going to tell you just a little bit of, again, why I'm done what I'm doing with this. I, in March of last year, got that call that said, you're going to become a virtual manager. And I literally hung up the phone and started crying. Because I'm a very people person and I like to be around people. So I said, okay. And probably for about a week and a half, I kept crying. And my husband finally said, Janet, you're gonna have to make a decision. Do you wanna keep working with Avon, or do you wanna try to find another job? And I said, no, I love my job. I love our company, I love what I do. I'm just gonna have to figure this out. And I have to tell you, I struggled last year with this virtual thing. I saw the good in it, but being able to prospect online, I really struggled with it. So in January, I got an email from Ray Higdon because I had taken some of his webinars, and the topic was social media prospecting. Ding, ding, ding. I needed that. So I took 45 minutes of my time, and I listened to what his wife had to say. Of course, at the end, they always try to sell you stuff, but I had taken so many notes. I literally picked the phone up, called my husband, said, this is what I need to buy, and we purchased it. And I went ahead, and watched everything she had to say through her webinars. So what I'm going to say today is not something I made up. It wasn't anything that I was genius about. I wish I was. I wish I could take credit. But it is in your handouts. And what I'm going to say is follow the scripts. It is very important that you do that. So let's get started. And the very first thing, and you can use any social media outlet you want. I use Facebook because that's what I'm most comfortable with. But you want to go, most social medias in your area have a job site, like Hot Springs Jobs, or they all have online yard sales, and you can go to the search and you can look for jobs. And a lot of people will put in there what they're looking for a job. Any unresolved leads, any leaders have any unresolved leads that they can't get a hold of? You can text, and it works perfect as well. I'm not saying you'll result every IAMA lead. It doesn't work that way, but you will result some of them. Here's just a couple of examples. In search for a full-time job, Amber is looking for a part-time job. Her husband works days and is usually off around 5, so she's looking for a weekend and a night job. So that way daycare is taken care of. So the next thing you want to do is just go and look at their profiles. Make sure there's somebody we believe that would be good for Avon. I am not, hear me again, I am not saying stereotype somebody. How many of you have had somebody that you signed up and you thought, man, this person's going to be my next top seller, and they never placed an order, you couldn't get a hold of them? Or you signed somebody up and you thought, man, they're never going to do anything, and they were your next President's Club member. I mean, so I'm not saying stereotype them, because we can't do that. I will tell you, I was probably one that when I got signed up, they probably thought, she's not going to do anything. Because all I wanted was $25 a campaign to buy my jewelry. I needed to continue that habit. So I found out real quick I could do a whole lot more than make $25 to buy my jewelry. But so then you want to send them just a quick message that says, and what I mean by that is just make sure they don't have a lot of bad language, not a lot of bad signs, because as they're growing their business, I know me personally, I don't want to see somebody's Facebook that's always having bad language on it. But so you just send them a quick message. Hey Jasmine, your status update came up on my news feed on the online yard sales or the Hot Springs job, wherever you found it at. So I checked out your profile. I love your profile picture. Now that right there is a compliment. So make sure you like their profile picture. If it's a horse and you don't like horses, don't say you like their profile picture. Find something, maybe it's their cover picture that you like. I love children. So if they've got a picture of children, I always say, I love your cover picture, precious children, or beautiful children. I don't make this mistake of saying, I love your children, because it might not be your children. But anyway, that's what it says. Anyways, I thought I would go out on a limb and reach out to you because I'm an executive recruiter for a beauty company based out of New York. And we are expanding in your area. And you seem to be really sharp and motivated. Again, that right there is a compliment. You might say, I've recruited as someone that's in the hair profession, and they were advertising specials going back to school. If you come in and get a haircut and a color, you'll get 25% off. So I said, you're already a professional. So some type of compliment there. Do you have an openness to making money? And then I go back and I comment that I sent them a private message. That's all I do. And I will go on through what I'm looking for and send them this message. I don't send them another message. And I wait for them to come back to me. So I can send out 20 messages a day. And I may, I get responses back. They may not respond to me that day. I had somebody right before I came in that I had sent a message last week that just responded and said, yes, I have an openness. I need to make money. Please call me at this number. So I'll have to call them later. But that's what I do. So the next time, I send the thing and I wait for them to respond and I send them another message. Now the message that is in your handouts is simply that says, and now we're going to have to change it because if you were in the general session, you heard the onboard, and I'm so excited about this. But with the message I've been sending is, great, I'm so excited. If you are willing to partner with me, I can show you what you're going to do. You're going to get brochures and you're going to give those out to your friends, your families, your neighbors, everyone you come in contact with. You're also going to have an online store. We don't say e-store at this time because they don't know what an e-store is. Everyone knows what an online store is, right? Because we all shop at online stores. So you're going to get an online store and they'll be able to shop there as well, and you're going to make money there as well. When you're willing to partner with me, and what's in your handout, it says, when you're willing to partner with me, I can show you how you can make 40% every campaign. How does that sound? Now we can change it to, I can show you how you can make $1,000 in the next 90 days. How does that sound? So that's exciting. And then again, I wait for them to come back. They may ask, what company do you work with? I don't tell them yet. I just go on and then I start becoming their friend, asking them questions. What do you like to do for fun? How much money do you need a month? What could you do with that money? Finding out their why. And this gets into a conversation between me and them, finding all I can about them. And after I have 3 to 5 conversations between me and them, finding out about them, what they like to do. I've had people say, oh, I love to go shopping, I love to be around people, I love to be outdoors, I play sports, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's great. This is a great opportunity for you. Being around people, you'll be able to pass out your brochures. Playing sports, you can give it to all the people that you play with. And shopping, oh my goodness, if you go shopping, there's another source of ways that you can give out your books. Then I close my sale, and how I close the sale is, I say we've been in business for 130 years. We sell makeup, jewelry, clothing, skincare, and much more. Here is a brochure, and I give them the virtual brochure. You want to make sure that you're giving them the current brochure. We're in campaign 17. We don't want to give them a campaign 4 brochure. We want to show them what's coming out, and that's how I introduce Avon to them. I don't say it's Avon, I give them that brochure. Once they click on that, they may come back and start asking me questions, and you can see here they did. I'll ask them, how does that sound? What did you see in the brochure that you liked? So I'm making sure that they've opened that brochure. I'm asking them, when can I call you to talk to you about getting started? I'll give them the startavon.com. For me, I give them my district code, but for you, you would give them your code. So it's really that simple. Once I get them started, I go in and ask them next, what would you do with an additional $65, $130, $195? And when they tell me, then I go back and tell them that's exactly what Avon does when you start bringing friends and family into Avon. Who can you think that needs additional income? And that gets them started into leadership. So that's how I've been getting people to get started and then getting promoters, because they're so excited about bringing money into their homes. And they're so excited about an opportunity that can help feed their children, get school clothes, or whatever their goals are. So that's really what I have. Did anybody not get a handout? Okay, if you did not, come up here. I don't know if we have any more, but if we don't, we read out yesterday, and I'm going to be emailing them all. So see me and I'll get your email. Thank you for coming. If you have questions, please make sure you post those on Facebook and we will get those answered. Thank you again for attending our seminar. We hope you have a great rest of Rip Fest.